Hello and welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. I'm not going to start the video by saying that it's yet another weekend without football, but it kind of is. But still, in today's video, we are going to be looking forward once again. We are going to be looking on the positive front, because the first thing I've got to say is, next week, we could see the return of Barcelona to training. Now, it's not going to be the usual training sessions that we're all very much used to. It is going to be very much individual work. But next week may well be the start of the road back to football, and that would be fantastic. We are going to be talking in today's video, though, once again about forward options. We spoke yesterday about Ansu Fati, about Ousmane Dembele and Philippe Coutinho. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about three potential forwards, all of which have now been linked to Barcelona. We're going to be talking about Lautaro Martinez, about Timo Werner and Jadon Sancho, who has now been linked to Barca. It's all coming up in today's video. Let's do this. And if we start first and foremost with Lautaro Martinez, because it has been a while since we've spoken about Lautaro, but in the local media in Barcelona, it is very much constant on the Lautaro front. He's very much regular news on their front pages. And this morning, once again, he does appear on the cover of MD with the headline here, which quite literally translates as Lautaro gets wet, which is an interesting headline. You know, these are interesting times, but that one there is not exactly what they're trying to say. What they're trying to get across there, that this deal is starting to get juicy, something along those lines, because MD go on to say that Lautaro has no intention of signing a new contract with Inter Milan, thus pushing him closer to an exit this summer, and potentially for a fee there that's lower than his 111 million release clause, which is a big clause. MD go on to say that Inter would accept an offer of 90 million euros plus a Barcelona player, with Junior Firpo in particular being repeatedly linked with Inter over the past few weeks, despite the fact that initially it was reported that Inter had no intention of lowering that fee. They were very, very adamant that it was going to be 111 million euros or nothing. They don't want to sell Lautaro, and it's going to be interesting to see there whether they've changed that stance. But even so, guys, even if they were to accept their 90 million euros plus a player, that's still huge. That's still massive, massive money for Lautaro Martinez. Because yes, we know about his quality. We know about the talent that he possesses. He's an incredibly promising striker. But in the current situation, that's such a big fee. That really, really is. It was before, it certainly is now, and potentially right now, that's money the club may not even have. Which then brings me on to another potential forward option. It's not just Lautaro that Barcelona have been keeping an eye on, of course, also Timo Werner, who could be available this summer for significantly less and with possibly just as much potential in that number 9 role. The RB Leipzig striker has been on fire this season. He hasn't long turned 24. He's consistently performed at the very, very top level. Bundesliga, Champions League, he's been really, really good in both those competitions this season. 27 goals in all competitions. And as we've said before, Werner right now has a release clause of less than 60 million euros currently inserted into his current contract at RB Leipzig, but that clause will expire in just over a month's time on June the 15th. And I think certainly when you look at Werner, when you look at the characteristics, the fact that yes, he has been now scoring goals season upon season, he's a player yet, I feel, who's still yet to really enter his prime years. He's got so much left ahead of him. And I think that fee there, very, very decent value, even in the current market. And it is interesting because Werner yesterday spoke with German news outlet Bild, and he was actually asked there about his next move, where that might be, and he gave his biggest hint yet on exactly where that destination could be. He said Bayern is a great club. He said I don't even need to say that, and Flick has proven this season that he's a really good coach. But if a move for me is ever an option, I would rather take the step abroad than move to Bayern. He said it's just the challenge in another league that would appeal to me a bit more than a move to another Bundesliga club. And also with my next club, the mutual appreciation should be there too. That's why I chose Leipzig at the time, and because of that, I would choose a club where I get that feeling once again. And that for me there is very, very interesting, because there's two very big things that you have to take there from those comments from Timo Werner. Number one, he seems absolutely adamant that his next move is going to be outside of Germany. He's not there going to go to Bayern. At first that looked the most likely option, being a German international, but he wants to play in another league. And it's not just the Premier League also that would be interested in Werner. And also, he's admitted in the past that he would be open to a move to La Liga. He's said that a number of times. And even though right now Liverpool have been very, very heavily linked, due to the current situation, even they are very wary about spending big money this summer, which could leave the door open for other clubs. The second big thing, though, you have to take though from those quotes there, and I think this is the most important thing. It's where he talks there about that mutual appreciation, and I think that's so important there. When you look at what he said, that clearly is something that's going to be driving him to his next club. And I think certainly Werner right now, he wants to feel wanted, he wants to feel valued, and ultimately he wants to be somebody's priority this summer. And that's the problem when it comes to our interest in Timo Werner, because when you're hearing in the local media that Werner is a number 2 option, that he's a backup option, that's not the kind of appreciation that I think Werner is going to be looking for this summer. He wants to be some club's first choice, he wants to go in there and have an instant impact, and I don't really feel as though him playing second fiddle this summer to Lautaro Martinez, that's not going to sit so well with him, and that could make things a little bit complicated at this stage. And I have certainly asked you guys this question before, but I think given how the finances right now are going within football, every single day presents a new challenge right now to football clubs. It's becoming more and more stretched all the time. I think this question is even more relevant now. Would you this summer still maintain our push to sign Lautaro Martinez, regardless of the fee, regardless there if we're looking at around 100 million euros? Or would you rather us opt for Timo Werner? Would you rather there Werner take over as our leading candidate in that number 9 role? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'd also there throw out another option. Would you bring in somebody else? Maybe aside from these two, maybe a hidden gem in the market. Is there anybody else out there that takes your fancy? Or the fourth option that you might have, maybe stick with what you've got. Would you stick with the squad that we have, with the forward players we have, and not sign a number 9? I'll leave it with you. Last but not least, though, we are going to talk, like I say, about Jadon Sancho, another star currently playing his football in the Bundesliga, and somebody else this summer who looks absolutely destined to move outside of Germany. Because just a few days ago now, of course, we did speak about Sancho's future. It was reported at the time that Dortmund would be willing to part ways with the 20-year-old winger this summer for 100 million euros. And we were basically wondering out loud a few days ago, A, whether Barcelona would be interested in Sancho for that amount of money, and whether or not they are going to be interested, and B, we were just deciding, is 100 million euros in this new transfer market, is that a good fee? Is that there a bargain price perhaps for somebody as talented as Jadon Sancho is? And once again, it does get interesting, because once again coming out of Germany, Bild emerged yesterday with a big report that claimed Barcelona have joined the race. Barcelona are in the running to sign Jadon Sancho. There is interest there now from Barca, and they say it remains a possibility that Sancho also could be open to a switch to La Liga. And I think that's a really interesting take, because obviously as well, just a few days ago, we had heard rumours about Ansu Fati, we had heard rumours there about Dortmund eyeing up a replacement for Sancho. Potentially the two clubs may be willing to do business with each other to some degree, and Sport also follow up on these reports from Germany with a headline of their own, which reads, Jadon Sancho, alternative to Neymar, basically saying there that if Neymar again cannot be signed, if the funds cannot be generated to bring Neymar back, Sancho remains an option. But I'd say again there, he's not going to accept there being a plan B. He wants to go somewhere where he's the centre of things, he wants to go somewhere where he feels valued, and again Barcelona seem to be going down the wrong road in their approach if they do want Sancho. I do have to say though, MD came out after all of these reports from Germany, after Sport got involved as well in those reports. MD came out and said, you know what, that's not going to happen. They believe that Barcelona are not interested in Jadon Sancho. They say that right now they're pursuing other options. Sancho is not one of the club's objectives, and as of right now, they're not entertaining a move for the Englishman this summer. And it's going to be interesting, because I think certainly we are still out there in the market. I do believe that right now, given the situation, Neymar is unattainable. I do think Sancho would fit Barcelona, would suit very well in the Barcelona system. But I also don't think right now that him coming here seems like an option under the current board. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which road would you go down? Which signings would you be looking to make? Because like I say, every single euro that you spend in this market right now, it's so much more important. You've got to make sure that the players that you're going after, that they represent real value for that money. You can't go throwing money around anymore. The time has gone now where we're just throwing money at players and hoping for the best. You have to have a genuine plan, or you're going to get yourself in financial difficulty. We need to make this summer the right choices. We need to negotiate as best as we possibly can, and we need to get players in who fit our system. Who are those players? Do we need to bring in anybody? Let me know All of your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining me once again. Really interested, as always, to see what you've got to say. Please do enjoy your weekend, stay entertained, and stay safe. Hopefully next week, we'll see a few training pictures from Barcelona. That would be nice. That would be something. We would take that right now. I'll see you then. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.